Obviously, we're thrilled. We're excited. I couldn't be happier for our players. I thought that they went out and they did exactly what you had to do to win that game. Two things. They had to be extremely competitive, which I thought we were. We didn't back down in man-to-man coverage, zone coverage. Guys got off blocks. We didn't panic when they made a play. They're an extremely good team. We got to the quarterback and just gave up no big plays. And then, secondly, I thought we were extremely unselfish. The offensive kids, I was saying we're going to run the ball 3 times and take 4 more minutes off the clock. You put it in the defense's hands. And while I know sometimes they didn't want to do it, we had guys running open. It was just an unselfish team win. But the special teams, we blocked the field goal. I think it's the first time this year. We were able to make those extra points, even though a couple of them were hairy when it was the weather was a little bit different in the first half. So I'm just excited for the players that they went out and played. We got on the plane last week after the Central Florida game, and I think all of us were a little bit shell-shocked. And, I just, as a staff, we made a decision, Coach Chaney came in one time and talked to us. He told us how to win at Temple, and he said you had to be tough. TUFF, John Chaney tough, and Coach Harden emailed me this week, and all these great people that are Temple people, and just, we've made a decision this week to get back to who and what Temple is. We tried to play good defense, special teams, run the football, and I thought our whole team did that. So I couldn't be happier for them that they had that. That's something they'll have for the rest of their lives. I'm sure Rich, there's some superlatives that he'll say, but I'm fired up for our guys. So.
Matt, how's this moment feel for you?
Honest to goodness, right now it's relief. My dad came down the side. My dad's on the sidelines for every game, and 25 seconds left, he gave me a thumbs up, and I told him to be quiet. I wasn't excited till the very end. But I don't want to have lost. I felt like we, sometimes you're able to steal a win. I felt like we defeated, some obstacles in our way. No disrespect. I just felt like our kids overcame, things that have been in our way. Guys played injured. Deion Dawkins played the whole game for the first time, and just played through a bad ankle. And guys fought through. So I was just really happy for our players. You know what I mean? They had to believe in themselves to have a chance to win that game, and they did.
Matt, defense forced 6 fumbles, I think it was today. What can you say about their performance today, and what's the difference between defense this year and last year, where you guys struggled to create turnovers?
Well, even defense today in the last 2 weeks, to be quite, we got down at UCF, and in the fourth quarter we forced 2 fumbles, and we realized, we just kept preaching to the kids, when you try to force fumbles, you make fumbles. I've said it, I said it early on, it's just about confidence, right? When you play with confidence, instead of just trying to get the guy down, you hit him a little bit extra harder. We played with energy, and I thought the offense, by slowing the game down and, just taking time off the clock, allowed the defense. The defense was out there still quite a bit, right? Because we would force a turnover, but I thought the defense allowed us to, that allowed the defense to play with a little bit more energy. So I just thought they played with confidence.
Coach, the block field goal, what made the difference on that next drive? Your best drive of the day, and you were able to go up 20-3 at that point. That kind of settles the game.
Yeah, we got it spread out a little bit again. We made a decision to kind of get in some bigger sets, thinking it would create some throw opportunities for us, and it was a little hard to throw. And PJ, I thought, actually did a pretty decent job, in terms of protecting the football. But we spread it out, and we were able to get the ball run down there and made a couple big plays. Kenny, I thought, came through, and then we did it the next drive and moved the ball a little bit again, but just didn't gamble. Just ran the ball. Just again, I kept saying the defense. Now I'm putting this in your hands, guys. And I think the defense the last couple weeks has been waiting for the offense to do something, and we made a point to explain to them this week. We're building it this way. Where you guys are going to play, and the offense is going to feed off you. We're trying to flip it, and they did that. They understood it today, and I thought they did it.
Tyler, talk about getting back to the identity. All week we talk about getting back to that identity. Can you just talk about, because this is you guys, forcing the turnovers and making plays?
Yeah, I don't pretend to be a great man, but it's like I think after that game at UCF, I think I said about 100 prayers that night. Like, what in the world am I doing? And it just kept coming back to, this is how we win here. We play good special teams. We have to play great defense. We have to get the quarterback. We have to knock the ball out, and we have to protect the defense. So we made a decision to protect the defense today with the offense, and I thought that allowed us to play with so much more energy. And the defense understood why. We went in on Tuesday as a team and said, this is how we're going to play these guys. So I think the guys that came to the press conference said we had to take a break. I gave Monday off, really, and said, Tuesday, this is how we're going to play East Carolina after that UCF loss. And I thought once they understood it, they bought into it. Couldn't be prouder.
Tyler is a player that's all over the place, and he seems like he's in on almost every tackle. Can you just talk a little bit more about his performance down the field?
Well, he's been, to play this many games, it's unique. We played, I think this is our 8th game in 10 weeks. We've already played a full season, right? So I think everyone's getting tired of each other, get tired of the coaches. But Tyler the last 2 weeks has had kind of a rebirth after that Houston game, played really well, and he didn't sub today. he played the entire game, and I don't know how many snaps he had, probably a lot, and he just played right through it, played on the punt team. So I just think, Tyler is completely bought into what we're doing and understands the whys. When you understand the whys, it allows you to go make moments like this.
The weather certainly affected this game today. ECU is a prolific passing offense. How do you think the weather stopped what they wanted to do on offense a little bit?
I don't want to take anything away from them, but I think all of us got the weather report on Tuesday. I think all of us knew what this was going to be, and we certainly we weren't the triple option out there. We weren't mowing up and down the field in the run game. So in the second half, I said to them in the second half, there was no rain, there was no wind, but we like to spread it out too. But we saw the weather report and said, we better make a decision here. And they ran the football well, and and I thought Coach Snow did just an absolutely masterful job of sometimes allowing them to run the ball a little bit, take away the deep throws, and just I'd love to take credit for this, but I thought we had a lot of unselfish offensive coaches, and I thought Phil and the defensive staff just came up with a tremendous game plan. No big plays, no shots, and but I think all of us knew the weather and what it was, and while it was cold, that's part of playing in this conference, guys.
Yeah, last few weeks you talked about a team effort. Sometimes the pass rush was there, but did your corners, it seemed like a lot of times had to make a lot of big plays too, one-on-one coverage?
Yeah, I thought our secondary played great. Sean Chandler's a freshman. He's out there playing well. Tavon, he thought he came back this week. Didn't have the week he wanted last week. Came back and played his tail off, man. And just a lot of throws you can't even see, right? They run a double move and we're all over it. I thought those guys, they're in there. They were in there every night this week. They have study hall. They come back, and I thought those corners were there every night this week, and they look forward to this challenge, which I don't want to underestimate how. This is an unbelievable offensive team that East Carolina has, and I thought our corners held up great.
Matt, you just talked about putting the ball over a lot. Today, 68 yards, no turnovers.
You said it one more time, so sorry.
Last week about PJ turned the ball over a lot. Houston, UCF, trouble pulling the football. Today, no turnovers, not a lot of yards. How do you kind of gauge the game today?
I thought it was awesome. PJ was awesome. He did. You don't think PJ wants to, some of those plays we're scrambling. I don't think he wants to launch it up there, but he understood what we were doing as a team, and got us in the right play a lot. Then we took some things off his shoulders, and we were 14 up. I said, listen, if you don't turn the ball over, we'll win this game. Even the fumble snaps. The ball's wet, and he jumped on it. So I thought PJ was fantastic. And all the guys in offense just understanding. Hey, I'm not going to turn the ball over. We're going to find a way to run it, find a way to throw it when we need to, and proud of him.
How important was the pass rush for getting rushing guys like Ioannidis, shutting Greg Martin, just talking about that?
Yeah, I thought they were great. Not only just the rushes where you sack them, but where you keep them in the pocket. I thought shutting off gave us a real boost coming in inside, and the praise of Hassan Reddick, Jacob Martin. They played the whole game. They're 225 pounds. They played the whole game coming off the edge and just attacking them, kind of relentlessly and harassing him, and they got big sacks, right? Because they go for it every time across the 50. But if it's 2nd and 4, we're in trouble. They got him to 2nd and 12 with some key pass rush moves. So there was probably 8 D linemen that played, and I thought they played a great game. Even when we covered everybody, they held up in the run game enough to where we didn't have to panic.
How was it like having young Jeezy on the team the past couple years?
What's that?
What was it like having young Jeezy on the guys?
Well, it's like anything else. I think it's my job to try to find different people in different ways to relate to our players and teach them, So I listen to country music and gospel music, right, and a little bit of Grateful Dead, right? That's me. But I thought it was awesome to have somebody that could say to them that whether you like my music or not, whether you like who I am or not, this is there's 2 imposters in life: success and failure, and you just have to fight through adversity. And I think I say that every day to our team. He said it, and they were like, "That's good stuff right there." So, but I thought it was very selfless of him to come out and talk to our team. Very appreciative.
How much easier was it to play with the lead today as opposed to the last couple of weeks where you guys kind of tired something before
I much prefer it. I'd much prefer to have the lead. But, at the end of the day, we knew versus that team that we were going to have to make the plays down the stretch. And really, if you want to talk about that game, the fourth quarter defense I thought was awesome. Our fourth quarter defense, I thought the fact that they just kept going out there and kept getting the stop or the turnover when they need to allowed us to win that game.
Coach, I was in front of me, but you guys got off the field on 3rd downs, it seemed a ton. You didn't let them stay on the field on 3rd and long throughout the game. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think part of it's just our 1st and 2nd down efficiency. We made, we had some negatives. Guys were making some plays where it wasn't 3rd and 4, it was 3rd and 8. That's been our issue on defense. And I just thought guys made plays. They made the appropriate play, and we had a couple mistakes, a couple personal fouls. That extended drives for them. But overall, they made the plays when they had to. They got them off the field and didn't let them momentum. Because you saw that last drive. When they have some momentum now, they're pretty special. they can really get going. So we were able to keep them from getting going.
What does a win
And
like
how
this
does
do for the
how does a
program?
game like this define the league in terms of the gap between the top and the bottom?
Well, that's why I think this is a tremendous football conference. You know, I think you look at a lot of conferences, and you're kind of at the beginning, you say these 4 teams are going to win the league, right? You know, I mean, I can go to this school in this conference, and I'll never, ever, ever even think about winning. But in our conference, I mean, I tell you what, you know, I said it before and after the Tulsa game. That's an outstanding. Tulsa's going to be a great football team. You know, there's a lot of really. We got to play Memphis on Friday. And I watched them last night. I'm like looking away from the TV. Cincinnati. You know, there's just so many really good football teams that you have to respect them all. You know what I mean? And that's why this is a really strong league. Week in and week out, you're going to see great games.
What does a win like this do for the program?
Well, you know me, man. It gets us to 5-3. You know, I mean, I think it's historic. Probably, you know, I mean, I get all that, and I don't want to undermine that, but I just want our kids to learn, and how, you know, we look so good sometimes, they look so bad sometimes, and as soon as they learn, it's all completely within their control. And I told them on Thursday, I said, just, you know, walk around today, walk around Friday, see who's sitting there loving you up, see who's telling you that you're going to win the game, see all those things. I said, because when you win the game on Saturday, you know, then pay attention and just see who those people are for you. Who the people are that were saying, hey, you're going to win the game on Thursday, and that's I want them to understand that. Like, you know, we love every fan, we love every person. I love my wife, I love every. But at the end of the day, man, in that locker room, it's really just it's just, you know, we're the ones that have to believe in what we're doing. And when we get off kilter, when we kind of get too confident or unconfident, we lose it. So they're learning, right? They're young. I was so happy for those seniors. There's only a couple of them, right? So the young guys now know that they can go play with anybody. They've learned they can lose to anybody. It's all about how we play, and that's why, as I said, you know, as Coach Harden emailed me, and as I thought about Coach Chaney, we got to get back to who we are. Temple tough, TUFF, Coach Chaney tough.
Matt, Alex made a couple touchdown saving plays. Can you just talk about his development in the secondary?
Oh, that was huge. They did a lot of double moves and trick plays and stuff. I thought Wells did a great job just knocking balls down. You know, hoping picking a couple balls off. You're talking about a guy that's playing not healthy, right? He's playing with a bad knee, but he cares. You know, I don't want to undermine a couple guys I thought played a great game. Boye or Romare and Will Hayes. I'm just happy I said that name right. Boye's a fantastic talent. They came in, they played the whole game when we played in the dime package, and they did a great job. But that meant Wells had to play a ton. And so Wells, Pretlow, I mean, they just played really well in terms of not giving them big plays. And you know, these guys, I said they'd throw 10 to 12 deep balls, and Wells took a lot of them away.
Matt, 5 wins, I know you don't want to get ahead too much, but how much that magic number 6 kind of wrap your head now?
You know, I mean, the magic number to me was 5, so I'm okay talking about 6, right? Because it's the next one. I'd really like to win Friday against a team I have a lot of respect for, and I think Coach Fuente is outstanding. What he's done there in 3 years, and you know, I watched them take Ole Miss down to the wire. I watched them lose to UCLA 42-35. So yeah, I'm going to talk about 6 wins because I want to have our team ready to go play a really good Memphis team on Friday night that is more than capable coming in here and not just beating us, but beating us good. You know, that's how they've played everybody, and so we have to have our team ready.
Coach,
are you ready
earlier
to talk about being in the
beat
hunt for the league title? Are you ready to talk about being in the hunt?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I'd have to look even at the stats. I'm just happy we won that one. I just have to, you know, I think in our mind I have to figure out, you know, how to make sure that the last 2 weeks doesn't happen and this week happens, you know, and that's really our next step. You know, I do know that, as I said, I watched Memphis last night, and that's really, I mean, I'm going to be obsessed with them because I know that they, you know, Paxton Lynch is a great quarterback and they can run the ball and they play great defense. So, you know, that if we win that game, then maybe we'll start thinking about some of those things.
Coach, just a couple more for Memphis, like you just mentioned. And early on in the year, you guys beat Vanderbilt, then followed up by a loss to Navy. What's the message to the players tomorrow about getting focused for Memphis to prevent that letdown?
All the same thing, you know, the same things I just said. You know, I mean, this is in college football. You have to come play your best every week, you know what I mean? And you have to prepare your best all week. And so if you're walking around and everyone's telling you how good you are and you believe it, right, then you won't play good. And then if you're walking around and everyone's telling you stink and you believe it, you have to know, you know, I started the year off against Vanderbilt, and I quoted Lou Katz, and I said, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else ever will, right? And that goes both ways. And so you have to just believe in yourself. They believe themselves today, right? And they played well. And they have to believe in, you know, making sure that they know who they are going into the next game. And we have to just play our best and play our way, and good things will happen.
Matt, you talk about the importance to Houston and Central Florida. What does this win do to your team from a confidence standpoint?
Well, it should tell them that they're capable of playing well. It should tell them that they're capable of beating anybody. And they should recognize after last week that they're capable of losing anybody and playing bad as well. So it's our job to play well. Not our job to win, it's our job to play well. If you play well long enough, eventually you win enough games, you know.
Matt, you talk about the importance of getting a win over a nationally ranked program.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I'll be on the phone with recruiting tonight, and I'm going to make sure, I'm going to be making sure everybody understands that I'm out there calling and saying, you know, hey, you know, I think you know, we're on our way. You know, we're not there yet, but we're moving forward, right? And so, you know, come join it. Come join the movement. You know, get a great education. Come live in a world-class city. Come play big-time college football.
Okay.
Thank you very much.